Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. Family is supposed to be your safety net, the ones you can lean on when the world feels like it's falling apart. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that the safety net is often full of holes, and those who should have your back can sometimes be the ones pushing you off the edge. Today in the rLounge, trusting family? That's a gamble. Up first, when your sister-in-law decides to turn it into a game of Where's Waldo? But with your kid. My ex-sister-in-law kidnapped my baby. Okay, this is a doozy. So my daughter was 6 months old at the time. For context, my now ex-sister-in-law and I did not get along at the time. She had more issues than I can list, and I'm sure she still does. She had cheated on my brother multiple times and had been diagnosed as bipolar and borderline psychotic. And my hubby was then my brother's best friend, whom she tried to entice but got shot down. So she was quite jealous. Anyway, we were at a family reunion, keyword family. Our family reunions are loud and fun and full of laughs, games, and food. The climax of our reunions used to be a family egg toss. Mess, but oh so fun. So people are starting to clean up, pack up food, and get ready for the egg toss before we all go home. My mom was not participating in the egg toss, so I asked her if she would watch my daughter while my hubby and I went. She said, of course. So we left the baby in the carrier with her. After the egg toss, about 30 minutes later, I came back to get my daughter, but Mom didn't have her. I asked her where the baby was. She said my auntie had come and gotten her, as she wanted to hold her. So we went to find auntie. When I did, she didn't have the baby. She told me my sister had come over to hold the baby, and she had her. So I go find my sister, and yep, no baby. She said she had taken the baby back to the carrier by my mom, but there was no baby in the carrier. Now this is a family reunion, but since it is at a local public park, mild panic starts to creep in. Hubby and I, Mom and Aunt, start a search. We spend about 30 minutes checking with each and every family member inside and outside the building, and no one has or has seen my daughter. Now, almost 2 hours later, I am really panicking and crying and sent someone to call the police. I had to pee really bad, this is important, but I had been holding it in order to find my daughter. But I was at the point of pain and hubby told me to hurry and go, and everyone at the reunion was now searching. So I bolt to the bathroom and fly into the first stall without even closing the door. As I'm taking care of business, I hear my daughter coo. Yes, I knew it was her. I do a quick cleanup and start searching the rest of the bathroom stalls, and there, in the last stall, sat my sister-in-law, holding my daughter, who thankfully was none the wiser. I grabbed my daughter and hugged and kissed her, then asked what the heck she was doing hiding in the bathroom with her for almost 2 hours while myself and my whole family were in panic mode and searching. I know full well she could hear outside the bathroom people running around and yelling. I could still hear them doing it. She shrugs. Yes, shrugs and says, I was just trying to teach you a lesson. Excuse me? I asked her, what lesson? She replies, you can't just go and leave your baby with just anyone. Bad things can happen. What the actual? I yelled, this is my family reunion. These people are not strangers, they are my family. And I left her with my mom. She says, if you did, why have I had her all this time? I called her an idiot and ran from the bathroom with my daughter. My mom was the first person to see me and my daughter and asked what happened and where I found her. As I was telling her, my sister-in-law saunters out of the bathroom nonchalantly. My mom flew off the handle at her. They both screamed back and forth at each other, and she was told, in not so nice words, never to come near me or my family again. Hubby said nothing as he was afraid he would also do something physical to her. It wasn't long after that my brother divorced her. I don't know if 2 hours really counts as a kidnapping. How do you weigh in? The fact that she just shrugged? Nah, that's far from a teaching moment. Honestly, the only thing she taught anyone that day was why she should never be allowed near other people's children. I guess this really goes to show you can't even trust family these days. What do you think? Up next, 1 minute, you're the life of the party, and the next, you're being uninvited to the wedding of a kid you've raised for over 2 decades. Am I the a-hole for laughing at my stepson and ruining his wedding? Throwaway shortened for character count. For context, I have been married to my husband for just over 20 years. We started dating when my stepkids were 5 and 3. Our kids are Adam, 28, stepkid number 1, Ben, 26, stepkid number 2, Charles, 20, David, 17, and Ellie, 13. Adam is getting married at the end of summer to his fiancée, Alice, 27. We have all been very excited for them. All of the kids have roles for the wedding. Charles is the best man, the other 2 boys are groomsmen, and Ellie is a junior bridesmaid. Last weekend, we had a dinner for my husband's birthday. All of the kids attended, along with Alice. The topic of the wedding came up again, and this is where it started to go downhill. Ellie brought up that she was so excited to go dress shopping and that we planned to go to a bigger city in a few weeks to get her a dress, and me a stepmom of the groom dress. At that, Alice looked at Adam sideways and responded that we only needed to worry about one dress, Ellie's. Ellie kind of laughed and said, "What are you expecting Mom to wear? A suit?" Alice responded with, "My name isn't going. You know we are keeping our guest list very limited to only family and a few close friends." What? Adam and Alice have been to our house numerous times for holidays, dinners, just to say hi since they've been engaged. This has never been brought up. Pretty quickly things escalated. The Cliff Notes version is that Charles asked them to clarify if they were choosing to uninvite me now or if I was never invited. Alice confirmed the latter. Why? Adam said it's because I'm not his mom. Charles, David, and Ellie argued with Adam and Alice that none of them were going to go if I wasn't invited. That it was cruel to leave me out given I've been his parent for a majority of his life and loved him like my own. My husband and I admittedly sat there for just a minute, just effing shocked. Adam finally turned to my husband and said, "Well?" My husband told him he wouldn't be going either. Adam then turned to me and asked if I was really going to let everyone ruin his wedding on my behalf. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I just laughed. I don't know what came over me, but the entire thing was just so ridiculous that laughing was the only thing I could get out. I told my husband I'd be waiting in the car and left, and then promptly bawled my eyes out. Anyways, Charles, David, and Ellie are not talking to Adam. Adam called my husband yesterday to try and smooth things over. He was still adamant I'm not invited, and it's their wedding. He also requested I apologize for laughing at him. My husband told him to tough crap. It's their wedding, and they can invite whoever they want, but they can't control who will actually go. He said they owe me an apology, and that Adam should be ashamed of himself. I'm getting texts now asking what the F I did and why I'm being a step monster and ruining the wedding. Am I the a-hole? Let's get some comments from the community and see how OP reacted. The first comment. I feel like there's a lot missing here. You've been married to his dad since he was 8. That was years of elementary, middle, high school, college, 20 years. Is his mother living? Did his fiancé influence him? Just seems odd to not invite his dad's wife of 20 years and call her not family. I don't think you're the a-hole, but I just want to know more about the past 20 years. The OP replies, I'm sorry, I had to cut out a lot of the character count to post. When Adam called, my husband did ask him if I had done anything, if it was related to bio mom. She has never gotten along with us. If I had overstepped in any way. Adam says no, it's just they want family only. Stepdad is invited as far as we know. I was a stay-at-home mom for most of my stepkids' childhood, and we had 50-50. My husband has always worked a lot, but has been as involved as possible. The house and child rearing mostly fell to me, though. I love our kids to pieces. I thought we had made it clear from the beginning that I am and was another parent that loves them, not a replacement mom. We've never had any issues, and I thought up until now that we were particularly close. Our communication has slowed since he met Alice, but he was calling me about once or twice a week prior to this. Alice and I have gone shopping on occasion, gotten lunch. I even went with her to the florist for the wedding because her mom wasn't available, and Adam got called into work. There has to be something or someone causing an issue, and my husband and I are baffled. Another commenter asks, is his mom invited? DOP replies, yes, as far as we've heard, stepdad is also invited. We, my husband and I, have never gotten along with mom, but still play nice as we still have 50-50 of younger stepson Ben. Adam and his mom had a falling out a few years ago as she was starting to treat him the way she's treated husband and I, that is, poorly. I don't know how to nicely explain other than she's a narcissist. Adam hasn't wanted to talk about it much, and we won't push it. I know they talk and visit still, but how close they are, I have no idea. Custody of Ben at 26. Yes, he is disabled. He can choose where he is staying, and he likes, but mostly sticks to a 50-50 schedule still, unless there is a family event or vacation. He is pretty independent, but not able to live on his own. Guardianship is probably a better work for what we have now instead of custody. Another commenter chimes in, absolutely not the a-hole. Assuming you and Adam have gotten along fine until now, it's absolutely wild that they wouldn't invite you. Oh, and family and a few close friends, when a step-parent literally counts as family. And the nerve to accuse you of ruining his wedding. I don't blame you for laughing. DOP replies, it's probably also relevant, but my husband's parents are long since deceased. My parents, dad, stepmom, and mom, have been very involved with all the kids since they were little. They are also not going, since if I am not family, they aren't either. My brother and sister-in-law, their daughter, my cousin, they call him uncle, and several of my other family members that have been around since stepkids were little have also dropped. They are up to like 20 people that have rescinded their yes RSVPs for a wedding of maybe 60 people. Someone else comments, wait, hold up. Your family was invited but not you? Then what the hell did Adam expect when it came out that you're not invited? The OP replies, that's my family's take. Why are they invited but I'm not? They aren't related to my stepkids by blood either, but apparently are family? To be fair, my family is larger than my husband's, stepdads and biomoms. My stepkids were the first grandkids on my side. They were not with biomom and dad's families, and were absolutely spoiled rotten growing up. Charles is now supposed to meet Adam for coffee over the weekend. I've warned him that truly I don't think it's coming from Adam, and to try to be calm about it. Another commenter says, info. What is the nature of your relationship with Adam? Is his mother in the picture? Could his fiancée be in his ear? The OP replies, I thought we were particularly close. Besides the normal teenager, I don't have to listen to you BS phase. We have never fought. We've always had him and Ben 50-50. As a teen and on, he's butted heads with his mother. There have been times over the years where Adam had come to my husband and I and asked questions from things his mom had said, but we've always been forthcoming with info. X of that is that his mom called me a homewrecker. This upset Adam. Adam came pissed at us, explained that no, biomom and dad were long since broken up, and mom even had a fiance who was not current stepdad when I met dad. Pulled receipts. Adam upset with mom, blew over and on to the next thing. We still deal with biomom though, and I do have a hard time believing she'd pull something at this point. Alice and I aren't super close, but I thought I had a good relationship. I have always tried to include her. Sometimes she takes up my offer and sometimes she doesn't. I know she sees biomom quite a bit, and that side of Adam's family too. She was raised by her grandparents and does not talk about bio parents often. Another commenter says, how did Ben react to this? At this point, I probably would not go to the wedding and would block his and his future wife. They would have to grovel in order to go. They made it clear they don't see you as family, so you don't need to do anything for them going forward. The OP replies, Ben was very upset and confused. He is autistic, so what exactly the argument is about doesn't quite click, but he's mostly upset Adam says I'm not their parent and his siblings are still fighting. We've sat him down since and explained that I love him dearly and will never go anywhere. All of us love Adam and are just hurt, and that he himself can choose to go to the wedding or not. He doesn't have to choose sides, and we will still love him if he goes. Honestly, he probably will. He loves cake and dancing. He seems to be doing just fine since. He hasn't asked about Adam, but we'll go to his mom's tomorrow and probably see him there. More info on everyone's relationships. It was hard to include every bit of context in the post because of the character limit, but I quit my job when Charles was 6 months old. Adam would have been 8, almost 9. No affair. I met my husband when he'd been divorced for over a year. Biomom was engaged to someone else. If you ask their biomom, she'll say I've always overstepped. If you ask her how, she'll give examples like I went to school events. So did stepdad. I helped with homework. I spent too much time with them. She would thank me for loving her kids so much and then turn around and berate my husband for me loving kids that aren't hers too much. Another example is that in the beginning, she wanted to communicate with me directly more. Said she loved the communication and that I was easier to deal with than my husband. Next argument with my husband, she brought up that I was weird and too involved and she shouldn't have to talk to me whatsoever. I haven't talked to her since. Periodically, she has brought up that I was easier to talk to and she doesn't understand why communication just has to go through my husband. After several years of trying to appease her, we quit just to focus on keeping our family happy and supported. It's been 23 years now of dealing with her. I've been to therapy multiple times to resolve whatever issues she says I have. It did help with strategies to deal with her. Truly, it's just that she has mental issues. Their dad did work a lot. He has always been on nights. It's changed slightly over the years, but we had stepkids Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every other Monday. His days off have always fell over those days, so he can spend the max amount of time with them, but usually he worked 1 to 2 of those nights. Very rarely would he work overtime on days we had my stepkids, usually on days we didn't. We still currently try to do dates on days when Ben is not with us. I hope that makes sense and clears up some questions for you. The next commenter says, are Alice's parents still together? Has she assumed you're some kind of evil stepmother? Does she have a bad relationship with her stepmom and doesn't want to invite her? The OP replies, her mom and dad are her grandparents. She hasn't talked about it much with me specifically, but her bio mom is deceased, drugs, and her bio father's in prison. She's talked about it some with my husband, who was adopted by his aunt and uncle. Father not in the picture, and mother died from cancer when he was 4. My stepmom has also talked with her at one point because she too was adopted by her grandparents for similar reasons. It just adds to our confusion. We have such a mix of types of family regardless of blood that my mother-in-law has been laying it on thick that I need to smooth things over because family is family and I'm the parent, so it's my responsibility to fix it. But I'm not ready to talk to Adam. Edit. Sorry, my mother-in-law is deceased. One more thought from OP in response to a longer comment. Thank you for the thoughtful comment. Adam will always be my first son, whether he thinks of me as his mom or not. I thought we had been pretty clear throughout the years that I love him, regardless of what he thinks of me, and that my involvement extends to whatever he wants of me and some fair non-negotiables, mostly safety things, chores his dad agreed on when I asked, that kind of thing. I couldn't get in with my therapist this week, but I do have an appointment next week, and we will try to formulate a well-thought-out response back. I'm certainly not a perfect person or parent, but I won't intentionally sabotage him further. I do love a good revenge story, but that's not it when it comes to my kids. I've talked to the youngest there, and they have reassured me that it's their choice whether or not they go. And I won't push them on it. I have been reminding them that he is still their brother, and it doesn't sound like him, mostly for Charles. He is very outspoken and protective. Charles is supposed to meet with him this weekend, and I'm hoping we'll get some clearer answers from that. Update post, April 23rd, 2025, 5 days later. Hi Reddit friends. My update was taken down by Am I the A-hole for not having a good enough conclusion, but I do have an update. I have to condense it a lot for Am I the A-hole, but I'm going to just copy and paste it here. Thank you to everyone who responded to my post. Most of you were kind and offered good advice. I appreciate it. Before I give an update, I just want to answer a few frequently asked questions. I am not an affair partner. My husband did not cheat on his ex-wife with me. We met about a year after they divorced. She was already engaged, not to current stepdad, not that that really matters. Ben was at the dinner. He is autistic. I went into it more in some of my comments, but he was very upset. He doesn't understand what the argument was exactly about, but he was mostly upset at Adam for saying, I'm not their parent, and then at all the siblings for fighting with each other. Anyways, the update. The short is, if you guessed it was related to Biomom, you were correct. I didn't want this to be the case. Adam rescheduled with Charles for Monday, citing Easter weekend. Fair enough. He also texted my husband to let him know that him and Alice would be doing Easter with her parents. We expected that. At some point on Sunday, Ellie texted Alice. I'm not sure what exactly was said, but it prompted Alice to spill everything that was going on with her parents. I have met them a few times, but they live a few hours away. They encouraged her and Adam to reach out to us to clear everything up. Monday we dropped Ben off at Biomom's. He stayed an extra night for Easter fun. A few hours later, she began to blow up my husband's phone as Ben mentioned the fight. My husband answered one call in which she was screaming and promptly hung up. He texted her that the siblings argued, everything is fine, and that if Ben has any further questions, we will talk about it when he's back with us. From some of the things she texted, we knew she was the root of all of this. Monday, Adam also met up with Charles, and he did come clean. Charles texted us to see if it was okay if they came over after, and we said yes. I'm not going to lie, Adam looked like a mess. He immediately began crying and apologizing. The short and sweet is that he's been trying to mend bridges with Biomom. Their wedding isn't 60 people. It's blown up to about double that, and they have been struggling to figure out how to pay for it. At one of their visits, Alice let it slip and Biomom jumped to help pay for things. It slowly snowballed from there, from small requests to big requests. I'm not sure what the final nail in the coffin was, but it ended with Biomom requesting I not be there. Adam said it was easier to hurt me and risk World War III with his mom. Alice's parents were less than pleased to find out how they've been with the wedding and budget, and even less so at Biomom's antics. They are trying to figure out how to start covering the payments Biomom has made. We've decided to help with some with this. Adam also asked if we could meet again in a few days with Alice, and we've said yes. There's still a lot of ground to cover to this, to be close to mended. I am still hurt, but mostly I'm angry on behalf of my oldest son. You've been a mother figure for him for most of his life, and now suddenly you're just not family? That's some next level petty. Honestly, I can't blame you for laughing. It sounds like the situation was so absurd that was the only reasonable response. And now they want you to apologize? Nah, they owe you an apology for the way they're treating you. Your husband sounds like he's got the right idea. Adam can keep his limited guest list, but the whole family isn't going. That's on him. Let us know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.